Okay, so I'm joined by Northern Sound commentator Fergal Monaghan after today's Monaghan Senior Football Championship Final, where Scotstown came out victors in the end. Fergal, overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, listen, I thought Clontibret brought the battle to Scotstown throughout. They were 5-4 down at half time, unluckily so. They missed 6 wides in the first half, but Rory Beggan went long with the kickouts, and Clontibret won the midfield battle in that first half. Won the breaking ball. Killian Lavelle was immense. Brian Greenan, Colin Boyle, they did so much right in that first half. In the second half, that 10th minute goal by Jack McCarron over on the far side there of Clones, on the terrace side, the old dressing room side. They fought, the forwards battled. Clontibret were trying to walk out the ball short out of their own defence. Overturned Jack McCann from 35 metres out over on the sideline. Saw Darren McDonald and the Clontibret goals out to help his defence. Had the wherewithal, had the gifted ability to put that ball in the back of net, meant it. And that 10th minute goal put 5 points between the sides. That was the one that sunk Clontibret, because I saw they were putting in the changes just on that 10th minute. Desi Moan was warming up, was brilliant when he came on, but the subs didn't have the impact they needed to have, because the goal was the sucker punch. I spoke to Rory Beggan there in an interview, and he said the same. The goal was the big one, and it put daylight. And there is no better team in Monaghan, and possibly in Ulster, to hold on to a lead, to game manage, and they had the clientele all the way, and Clontibret just could not get inside for that goal chance. They needed the goal, they needed to respond straight away. And that was basically it. Scotstown outscored Clontibret, I think 1-3 to a point or 2 points in that opening 15 minutes of the second half. That third quarter, as I say, the moving quarter, and it was Scotstown who got the job done then.
Fergal, I was saying to David McCaig, there's a real war of attrition out there at times, and a dogfight in Clontibret did huff and puff, but as you rightly just said, Scotstown really, their game management was exceptional.
Yeah, it is exceptional. You have Damien McCardle there in the centre half back. You had Kieran Hughes, who spent nearly the entire match in his own half of the field as an outlet. He got the ball, picked the pass. He's like a general out there. And there's other guys as well. You'll see it there, John. You could see it firsthand. Lads have the ball. They're pointing at where to go, mixing up. And the other thing I noticed about Scotstown, they took off 2 defenders. Sean Traynor was playing really well for Scotstown. He came off, and they put on 2 attackers at the time. So they went for the game. A lot of times teams try not to lose a final. Scotstown went to win the final. I feel sorry for Clontibret. I thought they were brilliant. And I mean, there's a great belief in Clontibret. They have a bank of belief. They won it in 2019. They came here to win. The disappointment was real. They did not come here to be second best. That's not how Clontibret operate. They're a brilliant club. Great mentality. Come across them over the years. They don't lose too many finals. But this Scotstown team, just to create that culture of winning, that culture, the Miners won the match before it, and there's a togetherness in it. There's a togetherness in the club. They're a club in every sense of the word. Whatever their secret is, we could all try and bottle it, because they are doing it right, and that hunger just doesn't seem to be leaving them. Now, they lost to Ballabay 2 years ago. They're back with 2 in a row now. Their 23rd title today, and David McCaig, as I saw him there, the Clontibret boys were coming off, the Clontibret management, handshakes, real sense of respect. It was a hard game of football, a tough game of football, but there wasn't a dirty stroke in it. It was proper football. They played in horrendous conditions. Now, not as bad as conditions
not Cavan
last week in Cavan, because wind kills a game. It was wet, it was rainy, but there was no wind. And that levelled it to a certain degree as well. A couple of high balls put in there on top of each of the goalies as well, that they all dealt with. And Clontibret, had the high ball gone in the last 5 minutes, but every time it was just rinse and repeat. Scotstown could deal with it, have the men back there to do it. And look, they deserve it. They're the champions. They got through it. They're now in Ulster where they want to be. And I really feel there's men there, and Rory Beggan makes no secret of it. That's where he wants to play. And they have unfinished business in that. And maybe it's opening up a little bit. The Derry final on today, I didn't hear how that went, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Scotstown are good representatives, great representatives for Monaghan from an Ulster point of view.
Yeah, and obviously the bit of experience that Scotstown had today, like the likes of Rory Beggan, Kieran Hughes, Jack McCarron got man of the match. But personally, I thought Kieran Hughes was man of the match, maybe pipped at the post, but McCarron, obviously his finishing for the frees and the goal was very good too.
A lot of people said what you said there. Kieran Hughes could have been man of the match. Jack McCarron has played in 2 senior county finals, and Jack McCarron has 2 man of the match awards, which isn't bad going. I think he finished up with 1-3 today. The scoreboard said 110 to 8 points. He's the difference. He scored 6 points last year against Inniskeen. They won by 3. He is the difference, and I suppose that's where it counts, keeping that scoreboard ticking over. Not too many men could score. Scored 1-3 out of 110. It's pretty good going. And you're right, but the goal, a game like this and a day like this, a moment of magic. And the moment belonged to Jack McCarron, and the moment was the goal in the 10th minute of the second half. That is what won this match today for Scotstown. And yeah, a great occasion, the county final in any place. It's great for you to come over, obviously, and see, you know, county final, get a feel for it, get what it means. And what was your thoughts on it, John? I suppose I'll turn the tables on you there.
Yeah, I suppose my overall thoughts on the game probably will we turn around, will we? Yeah. I suppose my overall kind of thoughts, I suppose, on the game would have been that I think it was the weather obviously plays massive parts in these finals as well, and then even like last week we look at Cavan and how like what the weather was like there, and probably the game shouldn't be played realistically, and maybe push forward to this week. But I thought it's a very good game considering. I think Clontibret probably will be disappointed maybe how they played in parts, but I think Scotstown's experience is really, I suppose, pivotal throughout, and I think the likes of, you know, Rory Beggan really kind of manned that kind of, you know, half back line, and then Kieran Hughes was pivotal really at times too. So, but I think, yeah, as you said, McCarron's finish with the goal probably was the hook, line and sinker, and that was unfortunately that was the game really in one. But I think Scotstown really will give Ulster good rattle. I think they'll go on and do really well in that competition now. I think that was a battle hardened test there today, and they'll keep growing. I know we'll see Crosslaw play Kilcoo now in a few weeks' time, so that will be definitely very interesting. But yeah, no, nice to come down to Monaghan and see what the setup's like down here for Monaghan County final.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is we didn't mention about Clontibret was, you know, when you're the underdog and you have your purple patch and you are dominating, they probably just didn't get the scoreboard going in their favour. You know, those 6 wides in the first half were probably what they will look back on a big regret, because they did dominate large periods of that game, and when they had that purple patch they didn't take their chances, and that's it. You know, you have to, when you take, as I said, when you take a shot at the king, you can't miss, and that's it. And but that's it. Scotstown are the champions, and congratulations and commiserations to a great club, Clontibret. But we're looking forward to seeing how this Ulster club pans out.
Absolutely. Fergal Monaghan from Northern Sound, thank you very, very much for joining me, and I'm surprised I haven't got a nosebleed yet for coming down to Monaghan yet, so I'm all good.
Welcome anytime, John.
Thanks very much, Fergal, much appreciated. Thank you.
See you later.